Hello, hello. Awesome. Want to kick us off, Lindy?
Hello. Okay, great. I hope everybody can hear me. Welcome, everybody. GM. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, whichever part of the world you're in. Welcome to Enso and Loomlay AMA. So let's kick off with a quick introduction. This is Darius here from Loomlay, the founder, and we have Connor, founder of Enso. I am business development of Enso, and I'll be moderating. So let's start off with an introduction. Maybe Darius, you can go first. Introduce yourself and your project, and then followed by Connor. You're on mute, Darius.
All right. Hey, so I'm founder of Loomlay, which is a no-code AI agents like builder platform, which just allows to create pretty much any agent that can interact with crypto, and yeah, it, it's possible to build agents that can, well, either do swaps or interact with on socials, and recently also added ability to chat with them. So that's obviously pretty much about it.
I can
Okay,
kick us over as well. Oh, sorry. So I'm Conor Howard, the co-founder of Enso. Enso is your shortcut to building on-chain applications. You can envision Enso aggregates all of the complexities of how to build an application on-chain. So we have over 200 plus DeFi protocols available through one simple API, over 75 plus projects using us in production. We're really honored today to have kind of one of the leading AI teams building on top of Enso and to kind of show and tell us how they're using Enso. And some stats, we've enabled over $15 billion in the last year. And last week alone, we also done 3.1 billion in 3 days, which was a fun event. So looking forward to today's podcast.
great. Now I have a question for Darius from Loomlay. Now with the industry, everybody talking about DeFi. What was your purpose and your motivation into also entering into this space? Isn't it already very overcrowded? How do you think that you would stand out from the rest? And how do you foresee the partnership with Enzo is able to help you to scale up and really be apart from everybody else?
Yeah. So back in back in the day, like back in when it was DeFi summer, so I remember myself like just starting learning about all those like things that could be done with liquidity pools, lending, and it was quite a steep learning curve. And it was actually, I couldn't find too many people to actually discuss it because when you try to explain that you take one token to a pool, then you pair it with another token, and then like some other new tokens are being emitted, and then you need to claim them and to sell them later to get yield. So like DeFi is complex, and what AI allows us to do is to create a more approachable way to it. Like instead of users thinking like how they could get this loan from, well, with their tokens per se, and figure out the protocol, figure out the interface. Well, in this, uh, it it can be much easier to just like converse with your DeFi AI assistant, tell it your intent, what you want to do, and then it just gives you like a transaction or to confirm, and you just confirm, and well, you're on it. So I think yeah, that's what inspired yet to move towards this merge of uh, DeFi and AI to make these like financial instruments that are out there more approachable, and to make the usage of Web3 products easier and more straightforward.
That's a very nice vision you have there. Could you share with us a specific example? For example, what do you find out from your community, like real feedback from your community that they have certain problems or they have certain pain points that you were able to solve via AI? And then maybe Connor can hop in and say that how Enso comes in to provide the tooling in order to resolve these problems.
Yeah, so I'd say if we talk about how AI is has been helping community. So recently we added this ability to converse with AI agents, and number one thing that I have noticed is that community members were just asking like what tokens they should buy. Tell me about analysis of this token. So anyway, in a way, so that's like this immediate, uh, well, immediate problem that it started to solve, like saving time on research. So it parses information, for example, about tokens from dozens of different sources and just gives a user like a straight up answer. And as for the DeFi, so I the like what since we haven't since we haven't released this messaging publicly yet, so there hasn't been much of the interactions with the DeFi protocol, DeFi protocols. But what I have seen, we had a couple of teams asking us on how to create this automated yield management strategy, like checking yield rates on different protocols and trying to do an arbitrage between them. And so that's what Enso can unlock here. And like what they said, like, yeah, the strategy itself could be implemented with traditional code, but it's also more expensive to maintain and takes more time to build. And that's where this AI agents can come in to simplify the building process, have this rapid prototyping, and just have something working in a matter of days.
Yeah, it's a really interesting topic. I mean, the AI agents kind of entering into the space right now. I remember everyone in the Enso office maybe 8 months ago, maybe I'm wrong. Everyone was using ChatGPT, right? I was like, I can't really get used to this. I felt a bit like a boomer, if I'm being really honest. And now I am 95% of things I want to understand is through AI. And the amount of times I try to search for something on Google, I'm spending like 5 to 6 minutes to even try and find an answer through so many tabs, so many pages, and then okay, once I find one that's got a relevant headline, then I'm searching and searching and searching, right? And now a lot of this, even normal world, not related to Web3, I do through AI. And the same can be said for DeFi, right? So what do people want to do? Using tools like Loomlay and so forth, they want to generate money. That's ultimately why people interact with DeFi. There's more philosophical beliefs for it, but ultimately people want money. Money can also buy you more time. So why don't you optimize both together through a DeFi AI agent, for example? So instead of you trying to manage all of your different APYs across thousands of different DeFi protocols, why don't you have one UI that you can go to and say, hey, what's the best yield I can generate on USDC? Okay, boom, it was scrape. It was scrape using Enso infrastructure underneath. Where's all this APY? Where can USDC go, and what's the highest APY? Whereas before, you would need to go to literal hundreds of web pages to figure this out, manually put it in spreadsheets, build your own scraping bots to be able to do this. Now retail kind of have this advantage of going to one simple interface. And kind of where Enso plugs into all of this is Enso really just makes on-chain interactions with DeFi really, really easily. for executing into these protocols and also fetching data. So AI agents not only need to execute on chain, i.e., like I want to enter into this vault, I want to lend, I want to borrow, I want to leverage loop, or I want to generate this yield in this LP position. I also want the AI agent also needs to know the information related to protocols, right? So how much is APY across all the lending protocols? What's the logos? What's the protocol names? Have they had audits, right? And I could also envision a future where these AI agents are more working like fully autonomously based upon all of DeFi. So if the gas costs are really, really low and there's new protocols being deployed and Enso has them available, what's to say the agent wouldn't just move a position from protocol A to protocol B very, very quickly to generate high APY, then get the tokens and then sell them, right, and move on. So that's kind of where Enso plugs into this. And I remember doing a presentation, I think in Istanbul, at DevConnect, was maybe over a year ago. This was one of my predictions, actually, to see AI agents acting on behalf of people for DeFi. It makes a lot of sense. And really, ultimately, what it comes down to is human convenience, right? Ultimately, everyone wants convenience in their life. This is why tools such as Uber and so forth and Uber Eats, they work because people don't want to, some people don't want to maybe get the driving license. They don't want to have to buy the car. So then you just take an Uber, right? Uber Eats. You then need to cook. You need to go and buy the ingredients. Whereas what you're doing is you're optimizing your time, and these AI agents interacting with DeFi kind of allow that to happen.
Exactly. So I understand that basically what AI and Enso does is in shortcutting the entire process, because actually what we're building with AI agents is not as impossible to do. It is technically possible. It's just very irritating and very troublesome. We have to see through all the data, and we do know how to make all these actions. It's just that certain people, especially new people, they don't know what is a gas, they don't know what is different chain, they don't know the different protocols, so to them it's just very difficult. And technology shortcuts it, just the same way like fire shortcuts our cooking, transport shortcuts our walking. So basically that's technology, and that's how the world is moving forward. So yeah, great to be in this journey with you. Well, that has been a lot of talk, and we all know that a lot of projects are just talking and research papers and white papers. So now I'm going to throw you a question, Darius. For all this talk that we've been conducting, do you have anything real to show?
I hope I do.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Go ahead.
So basically, I have this agent created, which is called like Quantel, and well, what it does is well, I made to analyze portfolio and later give me suggestions what to do it. And now recently with this new Enso integration, so now it can only just analyze, but it can also do stuff. So for example, if let's say
Are you sharing your screen?
oh am I? Sorry.
No, you're not. You're not. If you just want to, yeah, because you're saying as if you were going to do it. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah. So let's say we have some ETH and we want our Quantel to keep aping, but we don't want to sell our ETH, so we want to get a loan instead. So let's ask Quantel to, well, get a USDC loan from Aave using ETH as collateral. And well, Quantel only has his wallet on Base, so we'll just say on Base network. And now what it should do, it should probably read this message, then use Enso API basically to structure the proper transaction data, and afterwards, well, request the confirmation. Oh, like here I request using one ETH as collateral. Well, actually, I'll use 001 ETH instead.
The AI bot already knows it's going to be a whale in a couple of transactions. You know, it's already trying to increase your transactions to 1 ETH.
Yeah. Okay, so let's try again.
I love live demos.
So using just 001 ETH as collateral. We need to be also specific with AI agent, because otherwise it assumes whatever he wants, like how much you want to use of your available funds. And
that's a good question, actually. So, like, is the default for these? Oh, it's not working now, but I'm curious. Is the default then that they select the full balance, like by that you have in the wallet, or they're smart enough to determine, like, oh, maybe like we should go less based upon this protocol, this traits of this protocol?
actually, it is possible to give him, well, the agent does what is being instructed. So if we just add a bit more instructions to it, like when user requests to get perform DeFi transaction, first check your wallet's token balance and then warn the user. So like these checks are possible. But anyways, let's try to confirm this loan. I'm actually really nervous just to type confirm, but let's see if it works.
You know, man, we went into the deep end. You know, again, this is the real journey of builders. Like, we don't fuck around. We literally show live demos. We could have decided to engineer it, but we're going all in. Makes it more fun.
Yeah, true.
I like it that your DeFi agent confirms with you what he's gonna do instead of just executing it immediately. Like what if it does like 10 ETH and then you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, exactly. So
it worked.
We got the transaction hash, and well, let me actually share this for everyone again. And here we go. It happened, well, 12 seconds ago. And we actually managed to put
Are you sharing your screen? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so just happened right here 12 seconds ago. And yeah, we did use our, well, $2.5 and managed to get $1 loan. And basically, like what's possible is to use all the available like these integrations on Enso to actually use the protocols. I guess like the way it could be improved like in the future is like to have more, just like to find out how to provide for the agent more context, what kind of, maybe for what cases each protocol could be used, and then we could do some like searching by keywords, and it can be taken like even further. But it's really cool. What I just love about Enso is how it's possible to bundle transactions. Like if I want, like probably what I could also do is maybe if there are two DeFi protocols, one accepts the derivative of the other, you could stake on protocol A, get derivative token, stake the derivative on platform B, and it's happening seamlessly. So yeah, this is really cool.
One question. So I think you've got a really valid point there, right? So just so I can understand, you would like to categorize protocol types. So you kind of like to say, hey, this protocol I can lend and I can borrow. Okay, that one makes sense. And then would you also envision a future where you could say, hey, once I have this token, where can this token go to? So once I have AUSDC, what's kind of the next steps that it could go to? And would you expect that to be like given as a response at the beginning than you defining like I just want to go from A to B? Like how do you think that flow would be optimized for an agent?
I guess we need to start from the user's intent here, like what user wants to do. Like if I maybe like agent could ask like some sort of fund manager, what is your risk appetite? Well, what do you want to do with your funds? And then you tell it, well, I'm quite conservative. I want to just pack it safely and lend it and earn some yield. So and then maybe it could select like this basic strategy to just lend, for example, on Avi. But if I say like I want high yield, I'm degen, and 50% APR is too low, like give me 100, 200, search for something. Then like these more interesting combinations could be utilized, like staking, providing liquidity on one place, then staking derivative tokens on other platforms. And yeah, that's, it does increase the protocol risk, but if you are comfortable with that, so just go for it. And I think, yes, I saw something like that in DeFi Llama regarding this yield aggregation. Like they had something about displaying, well, like more like complex yield strategies. So that can be something, yeah, to explore. And then once those strategies are found, I guess then they could be used in Enso, like telling agent, this is the set of protocols that we want to use. So let's create a bundle and let's earn that yield.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The funny thing is, like, Enso started a while ago, and this solution of allowing people to interact with DeFi super easily, like we've just seen, actually came from our own problem, which was we wanted to offer a social trading product. We had to integrate everything manually ourselves. Then we built a DeFi super app. And funnily enough, the feature we're talking about right now, we built inside of the DeFi super app, which was, hey, if I get like AUSDC, where else can that go to? So then they would be shown like all the different routes. And it's like a big map. It's a big train map of like where every single combination can go. And what we found was a lot of users, if they weren't shown this, they didn't know they could generate more money in different protocols. Like they literally thought that was the end because people don't know all of DeFi. Like they know Avi, right? But then they don't know Avi can go into X, Y, and Z protocol. I think a great example of this is the end step being Beefy. So you can take like 2 tokens, LP into Balancer, take the LP of Balancer, put it into Aura, take the LP of Aura, put it into Beefy, and then that Beefy token can go elsewhere. And you're like compounding all this yield over time. One thing I would, sorry, I've hijacked this, Lindy, but I would love to actually go and show this transaction again and kind of show the users what is being done underneath here, because I think we're taking advantage of the complexity that's kind of just happened. So we've not only just interacted for lending, for interacting, we've also borrowed funds, right? So how did that, like, what was the borrow amount? What was the relationship to the deposit and so forth? I can share my screen for it. Can you send me the transaction and I can share my screen?
Yeah, of course. Here you go.
What chain was it on again? Base?
Yeah, Base.
Check this out. Crazy. And this underneath is an EOA for the AI agent, or is it a smart account?
It's a smart wallet. Yeah, smart account.
So just to reiterate here, so we've decided to build an AI agent that is able to execute on DeFi, that's built using a smart wallet, that's using bundlers, and is doing lending and borrowing all within one transaction. All the Lego blocks
It's
in.
pretty crazy, yeah, to think about like how many levels of technology are involved just to have this simple interaction. And yeah, the lens we all have gone to.
And
why don't you explain each line, Connor? Explain each line. What is going on? Like pretend like I'm 5.
No, do you think I know this? No. So yeah, I mean, basically what we're doing is we're taking wrapped ETH, and then yeah, we're not going in with ETH, we're going in with wrapped ETH. That's a good distinction. We're then depositing ETH into Aave. Whenever you actually deposit into Aave, you can envision this as like a lending market. Putting your money in there, and then you're getting a wrapped version of this token back. So this is what people call like ABAS with, right? This is another tokenized version that you're able to also transfer to other people. You can then also use this in other DeFi protocols. And then what we've decided to do here is say, okay, let's open up a borrowing position. And we've then minted this, and then we're in return got $1. So we went in with $2.5 of ETH with, and then in return we've got $1 of USDC. The way and reason why somebody would kind of do this, the way like an AI agent bot would do this, could be a condition of the creator of the bot saying, hey, I want to keep exposure to ETH in the long term. I think that it will not get liquidated under this point, and I want to get more stable coins to do other things, right? So actually I want to ask Darius, what do you think could be combined with this USDC thereafter, right? So we've kind of had the exposure to ETH, now we've got USDC. What do you think could be a next step that this agent could do with the USDC?
Well, I guess it depends on the risk appetite. If, for example, there's another pool with, I don't know, high USDC API, so that could be used there, and deposit a USDC. Well, okay, yeah. So we could create a self-repaying loan. So, for example, we have one protocol that offers high APY on USDC, and we only have ETH. So we deposit ETH to Aave, get USDC, deposit USDC to that high yield protocol. There is some yield being generated, and then we use the generated yield to pay back our Aave loan. So in a way, it's paying itself off, and I don't know, like there should be something left for playing.
Okay, let me make a suggestion. So maybe next time in the future development, we can say like, okay, so you have deposited ETH and you have borrowed 1 USDC, right? So the agent could suggest, okay, here you have 1 USDC. What shall we do with the USDC? And these are the ways in which you could multiply it further. Then you could pick one.
Yeah, exactly. Like it totally depends based on users' intent, whether they're risk averse or not risk averse, and what do they want to do with it.
Do you envision in the future having, I'm just curious actually, do you envision these agents, you set more like high level conditions and then they just run on their own? So like what we've said is we've just said, hey, we want to lend an Aave, we want to borrow under this particular collateral. We define the token that goes in, we define the protocol, we define kind of the outcomes. But do you kind of see in the future that we create maybe like semi-explicit intents, maybe like more boundaries intents, like, hey, I want to generate $10,000.
Yeah.
Okay. And you just leave it like that. Do you kind of see a future in that?
Like with just some additional work, it's already possible. So what we have now is this like ability to use DeFi through natural language. So it's like this, one layer of execution from natural language, but yeah, we can go just a bit higher, so that agent, so there would be like 2 layers. So first layer is our this initial intent, like I want to generate like passive yield on, well, on my USDC, and then it would just go to another layer of agents processing, where agents has this goal, generate the yield, then it researches the available protocols, their available APIs. There should be some risk factors attached to it, to each of them. And then agent itself could craft these prompts, like what we just did by writing it on Telegram. So agent could write itself, okay, I want to deposit 100 USDC to, I don't know, Beefy. And that way, that would be even more than powerful, is that instead of actually expressing exactly what we want to do, we could have agent that manages it. Well, I guess that's another idea for what Loomlay.
I think this is great. So you see, the thing is that a lot of people, they know the word intense, so it is a hot word and everybody is spreading it around. But actually, the real meaning of intense is that you don't have to specify the method, because right now how people use intense is token A to token B, right? But that's not really intent. That's method. So what we discussed earlier on, like more high level stuff, like let's say the user says that, okay, I just want high yield, and I like dog tokens, I don't like cat tokens. So this is really like intent based, and the AI agent does everything back end for you. So I do think that this is where the industry might be moving to, and that will be the ultimate goal for each of the AI agent different projects to compete on. But what I think is great, Darius, is that you are already building real stuff. So the thing is that when you build, you get to engage with a community, you get real feedback, and you can do iterations, and that's the way you can scale up fast.
I just want to add on that. It's like the intent narrative is nice, interesting, but the reality is, the intents ecosystem, a lot of it's fluff, a lot of it's, there's not much tangibility, and Enso is the number one player for blockchain shortcuts. For people that aren't familiar with the terminology intents, you're not meant to be familiar. The name is gobbledygook. It confuses you. The real world is shortcuts. You should shortcut to build, shortcut to get to a particular place on chain. And kind of what we can see today is, we've got one of the leading AI agents team. They're doing lending and borrowing, and also metadata, protocol fetching, all using Enso. We have over 200 plus protocols that can be used inside of this. And these extensions of products, that even what we're talking about on this live stream today, of, hey, what if we do this? What if we do that? If we didn't start building and we didn't start like shipping stuff, we wouldn't even come up with these ideas. So if any builders that are thinking of, building a product in this ecosystem, really just start using Enso. We built this product from our own problem, which was integrating all of DeFi. To give you kind of an interesting story, we had a project that built all of their integrations, and it took them 7 months, right? 7 months to do this. So it cost them a lot of time, money, energy, and also audits and so forth. They rebuilt all of these integrations in a day and a half, right? So you can really focus on your product, your community, and your distribution with Enso.
It's really awesome. Like, see, Enso is really as a power tool, that once you integrate it, you're taking this leapfrog jump and start getting your hands dirty, like immediately.
It makes it more fun, I think a lot of this space, we started off as builders, and I think we kind of lost that along the way, right? A lot of this bear market, people focus on narratives and so forth, but it's great to see that we're kind of getting this conversions back of, okay, let's ship real products. And, with these AI agents, we can build stuff on top. And Enso underneath. Enso is the shortcut. I think maybe we should start some questions, shall we?
Yeah, let's open the floor to the audience now. Anybody who is listening right now, feel free to raise questions. If you don't have questions, then our founders can leave their final comments, and then we probably give about 5 to 10 minutes for anybody who wants to ask questions. I mean, if you're on Twitter, if you're listening on Twitter, you can leave a comment, and we have people watching the comment section. We will just read out your questions, or otherwise you can join in and ask as audio mode. We'll give about maybe 5 minutes for people to drop questions, and otherwise we'll end.
I've got a question, Darius. What is something Enso should have already live that we don't have live that would have made your life easier to build?
Well, yeah, I guess it's providing more context about the protocols itself. So the way this interaction with Enso actually worked is that we give AI model like all the available protocols on Enso, and some of them have descriptions. And for example, when I'm asking to get a loan, I actually don't need to specify Aave. Like somehow it already connects that for loan, Aave is probably this famous thing, and so let's just use it. But yeah, with some for other cases, so I guess if I would just ask, I want to earn yield, then well, there's a lot of protocols that use it, but not all of them are famous per se. So for AI model is more difficult to distinguish. So which maybe I should select to use it. So maybe yeah, that would be a good addition.
Makes sense. We'll release it next week for you.
Yeah, love it.
Okay, since we have no questions from the audience, let's move on to final remarks from the founders. Maybe you can share a bit about your roadmap. So now we have done this. This is our accomplishment so far. What are we going to do our next few steps ahead that we don't already have, that the audience can look forward to?
Yeah, of course. Well, so just after the stream, we are finally releasing messaging on Telegram. So it will be possible to build your own personal AI agent, and it can use DeFi. Well, its wallet will be limited to base network for now, but there's still plenty of stuff to do there. And what's upcoming next? So we'll be creating agent templates and like agent widget. So it will be possible to create agent and be cloned for different purposes. Or if you have a website or maybe other place, you'll be able to just have like a chat box on your website and allow people to interact with it. So that would be all.
I can jump in here. So first of all, we already had a feature request on the stream. So doing associations of protocol types. But I think the real network effect of Enso really comes positioning yourself as one holistic tool that allows people to build any types of on-chain actions. So right now we've really focused and dominated in the DeFi market. But there's always going to be DeFi protocols and even other smart contracts such as NFTs or any new primitive that gets deployed on chain that needs to be available through Enso, right? And to get this network effect, we cannot be the only people that add these integrations. So we want to start opening up Enso to allow any developer to come along and add their protocol to be available and consumed by all the projects on top of Enso. So if you're a developer, if you want to get large distribution, billions of dollars flowing into your protocol, simply just add it to Enso. If you're a developer that wants to embed many on-chain protocols into your platform, simply just use Enso. It's a similar approach to DeFi Llama, but for DeFi Llama does for fetching data, Enso does it for all on-chain execution. So I'm really, really looking forward to that, because this opens up the amount of use cases that we just don't know yet. There's probably more, and if we open up the system, it will propel it even further.
Okay, thank you for your time so far, Darius and Connor. We have come to the end of our episode today. Today is just day one. We will probably have this more frequently, maybe once a week or maybe once in 2 weeks, depends on demand and supply. So following this, I would just like to let everybody know that we have a TG group chat where developers, if you are building anything on Enso, please come to our TG group chat. You can ask any questions and we are there 24/7 to reply you, to help you build. There are a few hackathons coming up as well. If any of you are building for hackathons, we are happy to share our tips with you, or if you meet any errors while doing your development, we'll be happy to help out as well. So that's all. Oh, and if you have any other questions after listening to the podcast, maybe a recording of the podcast, if you're not listening to us live, please drop your comments and feedback. And if you have any ideas for what you would like to see in our next episode, we'll be happy to consider that as well.
There's one question. Somebody came in at last minute for a question. Can I chain multiple actions using Enso and bundle them all into one call? Yeah, you can do this. Literally, this is what we just done on the call. So we just said, hey, let's lend into Aave and borrow all in one transaction. So you can say, when I lend and borrow, you can even take that USDC and then buy an NFT. So I just wanted to answer that person before we close.
Oh yeah, and suddenly there's another comment from Vinco. Glad you guys have traveled such a thorny path to get to where you are now. We're glad we are here right now as well. And thanks for being here with us. Okay, thanks Darius, thanks Connor, thanks to all the audiences. And of course, thanks to our colleagues who are helping us back end, Nicole and Leonie. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.